Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Stefanie Drysdale's weekly cybersecurity recap. It's number 47. It's Friday, November 27th, 2020.
Happy Thanksgiving, Chuck.
Thanksgiving to you as well. So what's happening in the
I hope
cyber
so.
world?
Sure. So I'll just jump right in. So this week, the Australian Financial Review kind of had an article about how Australia is leading the Five Eyes into the new cybersecurity laws. So they have proposed a new amendment that, if it passes, will give ministerial approval that if a company or an organization is unwilling or unable to respond to a cyber attack, that the ASD, or the Australian Signals Directorate, will be permitted to actually take over the response. This is a big deal. So as of now, no step-in powers have been legislated in either the US, Canada, the UK, or New Zealand. And for now, we're going to be watching Australia as the test case for what this might potentially look like if we decide to adopt these same step-in powers. Prescient Security shared this week another successful social engineering scam, very similar to the one at Twitter. This time it was at GoDaddy. Threat actors engineered employees to letting them assume control over at least a half a dozen cryptocurrency companies' accounts. Many of those scams just began with a series of calls pretending to be from the company's IT department to the remote worker, which then they use to get the employee to sign in or hand over their credentials. Could be anything from email to the company VPN, pretending like they're troubleshooting that particular part of the employee's work. Definitely stresses the importance of those frontline people and your remote workers knowing what a social engineering scam looks like, what an account takeover would look like, and having those processes and procedures in place so that those types of things have a system of checks and balances before they're allowed to just take over an account. Edward Collegian shared a cybernews.com article about Walmart exclusive routers that are also being sold on Amazon and eBay, having hidden backdoors that can control the router. This is just a really big reminder that just because something is cheap and functional, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily better or good. It is normal for some routers to have backdoor access, but generally those are only the ones that you get from your internet service provider so that they can help with customer service and troubleshooting. So make sure that you research your routers before you buy them, and that you're not just buying the cheapest thing out there. It's got to have good security. Ahmed Sharif shared a Verge.com article this week about a messaging app that uploads every file you send to the internet. So it's about Go SMS Pro. It's a messaging app. They were notified months ago, back in August, that there were a lot of vulnerabilities with this, but as of now, there are still no fixes. These messages are visible to every single person. The way they work is that when you send a message, they create an email, or sorry, a URL address, and the URL is sent to the recipient. There is no authentication on this, so anyone with that URL can access the image that was sent. In addition to that, you can alter just slightly the URL address to look at other messages because there is no variance in sequencing or any kind of other things. You can actually guess what other URLs might be. So the researchers, as they looked through these, were able to find phone numbers, screenshots of bank transfers, order confirmations with home addresses, an arrest record, even explicit photos. So definitely make sure that you're using secure messaging apps that aren't using things like this. They should be encrypted. I like Signal for a lot of reasons. So definitely be careful the kind of messaging apps that you're using and the kind of information that you're sending with them. Alexander Blanc shared a threatpost.com article about Spotify users being hit with a rash of account takeovers. This appears to be a credential stuffing operation. As you all remember, that's where information from other compromises is used to try to hack into other accounts or actually just log into other accounts. There's no real technical skill involved. It's just taking a username and password that was compromised in another breach and trying to log into other accounts with it. It relies on the users to use the same emails and passwords for multiple sites, which is why we tell you all to please, please, please don't do that. Use unique passwords for each site's very complex passwords, and preferably a password manager to help you generate those long, elaborate ones is the absolute safest thing that we can do at this particular point. And of course, use multi-factor authentication so that if someone tries to sign into an account from other places, that there is a verification process involved. And that's what I have for you this week. I hope everyone had a wonderful Turkey Day and a happy Thanksgiving for those of you celebrating. For those of you who didn't, I'm still thankful for you. Make sure that you comment, and I appreciate all the great feedback. So everyone have a great holiday weekend.